Okay. So in our last session, what is our last class? Nitin? లాస్ట్ క్లాస్లో నేను ఏం చెప్పాను నితిన్?
అది లిస్ట్ స్ట్రింగ్స్ అవన్నీ చెప్తుంది.
సెట్ చెప్పాను, డిక్షనరీ చెప్పాను.
యా
So can you please tell me what the points I explained in a dictionary?
లేదు, నాకు అంత గుర్తులేదు.
చూడలేదా? తర్వాత అయిపోయిన తర్వాత, క్లాస్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత
లేదు.
చూడాలిగా నితిన్. ఎందుకంటే ఇవి నేర్చుకుంటేనే కమింగ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ క్లాసెస్లో మనము యూజ్ చేసుకోగలుగుతాం వీటిని ఎఫెక్టివ్గా. అప్పుడు డైరెక్ట్గా యూజ్ చేసేటప్పుడు మళ్ళీ అర్థం కాదు. సో నవీన్, ఆర్ యూ కంఫర్టబుల్ విత్ తెలుగు లాంగ్వేజ్, రైట్?
యా
ఓకే, కూల్ ఎనఫ్. ఎందుకంటే మోస్ట్లీ ఇక్కడ అందరూ తెలుగు వాళ్ళే ఉన్నారు. నేను కూడా పొద్దులాంచి వాగి 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 నొప్పి వస్తుంది. సో నితిన్, ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి నితిన్ కంపల్సరీగా. ఈ సెషన్స్ నేను అందుకనే స్లోగా వెళ్తున్నా ఇప్పుడు ఇంతవరకు. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
సో కమింగ్ సెషన్స్ కానీ ప్రీవియస్ సెషన్స్ కానీ ఒక్కసారి జస్ట్ మీ ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పేసి ఉంటా కాబట్టి మీరు ఒక 5 minutes నుండి 10 minutes అంతకన్నా ఎక్కువ టైం కూడా స్పెండ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. యూ గైస్ ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ సమ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, రైట్? సో
Yeah.
మీరు ఫ్రెషర్స్ కాదు కాబట్టి, ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ క్యాండిడేట్స్ కాబట్టి, మీరు ఈరోజు చెప్పిన సెషన్ మీరు ఒక 5 minutes చూసారంటే మళ్ళీ ఎప్పటికీ గుర్తుంటుంది అన్నట్టు. క్లాస్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత రోజు ఒక్క 5 నిమిషాలు చూడండి, 5 to 10 minutes. ఆల్రెడీ దానికి సంబంధించిన డాక్యుమెంట్స్, అంటే నేను ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేసిన ఫైల్స్ కూడా నేను అందులోనే అప్లోడ్ చేస్తున్నా కదా.
Yeah.
సో అలా అప్లోడ్ చేస్తున్నా కాబట్టి మీరు జస్ట్ వాటిని డౌన్లోడ్ చేసి మీ సిస్టంలో ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేసినా సరిపోద్ది అన్నట్టు మీ వరకు. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
యా. సో ఎవరికైతే ఫ్రెషర్గా మీరు ట్రై చేస్తున్నారో, మేక్ షూర్ దట్ యూ గైస్ నీడ్ టు బి ప్రాక్టీస్ వెరీ వెల్ అండ్ వీ నీడ్ టు డూ లాట్ ఆఫ్ రీసెర్చ్ గైస్. అండ్ ఇవాళ నేను సెట్ డేటా టైప్స్ చెప్పానంటే ఆ సెట్ డేటా టైప్ గురించి మీరు ఇంకొంచెం నేర్చుకోవాలి. వేరే సోర్సెస్కి వెళ్ళాలి, ఆర్టికల్స్, గూగుల్ ఆర్టికల్స్ చదవాలి. గూగుల్కి వెళ్ళేసి వాట్ ఈస్ సెట్ డేటా టైప్ ఇన్ పైథాన్, వాట్ ఆర్ ద బిల్ట్ ఇన్ ఫంక్షన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్, అవన్నీ మీరు చదివితేనే మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. ఓకే? యా. సో ఇంటర్వ్యూలో కూడా ఒక క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతారు మోస్ట్లీ. సో ఇంటర్వ్యూలో మోస్ట్లీ అడిగే క్వశ్చన్స్ ఈ డేటా టైప్స్ వరకు వచ్చేసరికి, వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ లిస్ట్ డేటా టైప్ అండ్ ట్రిపుల్ డేటా టైప్? ఎవరు చెప్తారు ఆన్సర్ దానికి? మాధవి,
Yes, sir.
ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్నావా?
Ah,
ఓకే, చెప్పు. వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ లిస్ట్ అండ్ టపుల్? ఏం నేర్చుకున్నావు ఈ వారం మొత్తం?
present అయితే ఏం నేర్చుకోలేదు సార్. స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను ఇక నేర్చుకోవడం.
ఇప్పుడు ఇంకా ముహూర్తం కుదరలేదా?
నాట్
Hmm?
లైక్ దిస్ సార్.
దెన్ వాట్స్ ద 1 week మొత్తం స్పెండ్ చేసి గొంతు పోయేంత వరకు క్లాస్ చెప్పి స్లో చెప్పేసి ఇంకా స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదంటే వాట్ ఈస్ మీన్ దట్?
My laptop is at my brother. He's not giving me. I'm trying for other
For
laptop.
practicing of subject, laptop is a small thing. Without laptop also we can learn it.
Yes, sir. I'll start, sir.
ల్యాప్టాప్ లేదన్నది అది మీరు క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్న రీజన్. Got you. Without laptop also we can practice it. యూట్యూబ్‌లోకి ఎళ్ళేసి గూగుల్‌లోకి ఎళ్ళేసి ఆన్‌లైన్ ఎడిటర్ అని కొట్టేస్తే ఇప్పుడు అందరికి స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్‌లే ఉన్నాయి గదా! అవునా? చిన్న ఫోన్‌లు గాదు గదా! అవన్నీ. పెద్ద పెద్ద ఫోన్‌లు అవి. ఆ! టైప్ చేస్తారు గదా! చాట్ చేస్తారు గదా! మెసేజ్‌లు చేస్తారు గదా! అలాంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎయొచ్చు దాంట్లో గూడా. ఆన్‌లైన్ ఎడిటర్ అని కొట్టేస్తే మీకు లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ వస్తాయి. పైథాన్ ఆన్‌లైన్ ఎడిటర్ అని కొట్టు. నీకేదన్నా వస్తది దాంట్లో ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చెయ్యి. యాహ్! సత్య? వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్
Sure.
బిట్వీన్ లిస్ట్ అండ్ టపుల్?
List data type is
తెలుగులో చెప్పినా పర్లేదు.
dynamic, sir.
లిస్ట్
ఇది
డేటా
అనేది
టైప్ ఈస్ దట్
డైనమిక్ అండ్ మ్యూటబుల్.
డైనమిక్ అనే వర్డ్ ఎక్కడి నుండి వచ్చింది?
అంటే మన గూగుల్లో సెర్చ్ చేశాను.
సరే డైనమిక్ అంటే ఏంటి?
అంటే అది
Come on, guys, you need to study. So list is a mutable data type. You can store so many objects in the list. You can do a lot of permutations, adding and removing the data. Tuple also same kind of list, but it has not we cannot do all the functions. We cannot call as the tuple as a list in the tuple. You can do
That's
it
correct.
matrix and dice and slice, all these operations you can perform on that.
ఇట్స్ నైస్. చూడండి అతను జైపాల్ గారు వచ్చేసి ఈజ్ టోటలీ బిజీ. అవునా అండి? అవునా కదా?
Yeah. చదవాలమ్మా అందరూ. Yeah, first job, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll go on mute again, okay?
Yeah. గైస్ సో ఆల్మోస్ట్ జైపాల్ గారికి మోర్ దెన్ ఒక 15 ఇయర్స్ 20 ఇయర్స్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఈజ్ టోటలీ బిజీ. మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? మీరు ఎంటైర్ డే మొత్తం ఖాళీనే కదా? టైం స్పెండ్ చేసుకొని చదువుకోవాలి, ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి, క్లాస్ వినాలి, వేరే సోర్సెస్కి వెళ్ళాలి. ఫైన్. ఐమ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి డౌన్లోడింగ్ ద అనుకొండ నావిగేటర్. Actually, I installed my system, I installed the Anaconda Navigator in my laptop. Yep. One more time. In data types, so we might be get a lot of interview questions. I want to be share with you that information as well. I think you guys are much aware of ChatGPT, right? Just use the ChatGPT and get some interview questions. So your task is write some main interview questions on data types in Python. Okay, so this is the one source for you guys. Okay, if you're not learn, if you're facing an issue, so for learning this perspective, so ChatGPT is the one of the tool. Then you just go and give any question, it will be give answer for you actually. Okay, so here various questions we have it. What are the built-in data types in Python? And can you explain the difference between mutable and immutable data type? I given us some example, right? List and tuple. So list is the mutable data type. Tuple is the immutable data type. As I said, so you can modify the anything, or we can updates, we can do modifications with your original data, that we are calling it's a mutable. Something we cannot able to modify once if you're fixed, so that we are calling it's immutable. The examples are list and a tuple. Okay, So how do you convert one data type to another data type? So which are data type conversion functions? Every data type, we could have some kind of built-in functions are there, a data type conversion functions are there. The names itself, it's a, we can use the data type conversions. Okay. And what is the difference between the list and tuple? Explain the key value pair structure in a Python dictionary. Typecasting. Typecasting is also like, converting one data type to another data type. Describe the properties of your Python sets. So what are the properties for the sets? So it is unordered data type. It could be removing the duplicate values, duplicate elements, right? And it is not following, it's not possible to access the data elements. Okay. So that is the properties we have for the Python sets. How do you work with multi-dimensional array in Python? Fine. This thing I couldn't explain, right? Now I can explain you. What is the significance of none data type? Actually, none means nothing. If you don't want to store anything, we can use the none data type. How do you string data type work? And discuss the slicing and string methods like lower, upper. Okay, those are the methods we are calling it string method. Slicing means so we can access a group of characters continuously, that we are calling it a slicing. That examples also I already showed you, right? See, these are some interview questions. And I can share you this one if you're not aware of it, recording about ChatGPT. Okay. Four, five, six, seven. So by tomorrow, so except Jaypal Garu, Nitin, and Naveen. Naveen, if you are interested, you
Yeah.
can work with this. If you can work with this, functions. I mean, these questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who are especially looking for job. Okay, so those guys need to be practice this interview questions. Okay.
yeah. Is this multi-dimensional array means like
Yeah.
Python
That
libraries? Yeah.
that I can explain you.
Okay.
Give me a
Okay.
minute of time. So mm, data type interview questions. Oh, yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So now I just want to discuss about multi-dimensional array. It's not array, so we can call. I'll just explain that particular part. Give me a minute of time. So I already downloaded some files. How to go for installing the Anaconda Navigator. Before that, the Python IDE. Yes, let's open Python IDE. Yeah. Next. Yeah, I will explain that. Yeah, fine. Let me go with this particular part. Um, okay, so cool. So multi-dimensional, right? So if we can't see this one, let me edit configure. Hold. Yeah. So for example, I have a list. Okay. I have a list and we are holding the data is a list, the list which is contained the list. Okay. So here 3, 4, 6. And this is 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Okay. So here how many sublists are there here? So this is one list, this is one list, and this is one list. So this type of list we are calling it a nested list. Okay. So when we have a nested list, so if I'm using the A of 0, which is returns the sublist, this entire list, it could be one element. And if I'm giving the 1, it could be accessing the second list. If I'm giving the 2, it is accessing the third list. Okay. So inside of this list name, this is the list name is A of 0, right? So now I would like to go for accessing this element. So this is 0 position. Again, this is 1th position. This is 4th position. But where A of 0 related information, right? So that A of 0 and then you can give it 0, which is accessing the first element of the first list. And A of 0 and A of 1, we're accessing the first sublist of the second element. And A of 0 and A of 2. So first sublist of the third element. Okay. So A of 1, which means second sublist of the first element. Second sublist of the second element. Okay. Second sublist of the third element. So this is the way you can use the nested list. Okay. So these things we can call it as the nested lists. Clear? Those things only, they are giving some kind of different name, multi-dimensional array. So generally the multi-array concept, which is not supported by the Python, but it can be supported by the NumPy, which is the Python library. Okay. Clear? So the same thing, it could be supported for the tuple also. Yeah. Now I would like to talk about the default or basic built-in functions. Built-in functions in Python. Okay. Built-in functions in Python. So there we do have the various built-in functions are there. As I said, so we seen only print function, and meanwhile we seen some kind of built-in function that perspective of that specific data type, right? Okay. But now we'll discuss the basic built-in functions in Python programming language. Okay. So for example, if you want to take any data from the keyboard, so for taking the data from the keyboard, we can use the input function. When I'm using the input function, until unless you read some data from the keyboard, it could be never go for the next line. Okay. So here, if I enter the 23, this 23 will be holding into the, if I enter this 23 will be holding into the variable A. So if I enter the A, what is the value? It could be the 23, right? For example, here we have a 23. So careful observe here. What is the difference between here 23 and what is the difference between this 23? Anybody? So here the 23 and here also 23. What is the difference? The difference is with help of the type function, we can find the data type of any variable. The type of A, which is returns the string data type. If I'm using the type of B, when I'm directly assigning the 23, it could be integer. Okay. So here also 23, but here it is integer, but here it is the string. Same way, if I want to read the data from the keyboard with help of the input function, and this time I enter the some kind of float number. This is the one float number, right? Even if I enter the float number, and if I hold the b value is, for example, some float value only, so then what is the difference between this A and B? Here A is string data type, and here it is a B is float data type. Clear or not? So the issue with the input function is you can enter any type of data, but it is reading as a string format. With input function, we can read any type of data, but what happened? But it read as string type. Okay. I need some kind of chorus from your end. If you couldn't understood this one, please let me know. Guys, why you are mute yourself?
I understood.
Yeah. Now, when you're facing this kind of issue, we do have the data type conversion functions are there. We do have data type conversions, we do have it. What are the data type conversion functions? We do have it. So here, int is the one data type conversion function. You can enter any type of data. It can be converting as the integer type. And float is the one type of data type conversion function. It could help you to converting into the float data type, any data type to the float data type. Okay. Now, complex. To convert any data type to the complex, we can use complex function. To convert any data type to bool, then we can use the bool function. Okay. Let me try this 4 functions with input function. For example, here I have I'm using an input, and here I enter the integer. Okay. I can find the data type of A. It was the string, right? But I would like to go for converting the integer, then we can use the int of A. Now we can find the data type of A. It's integer, right? That way you can convert any data type to the integer data type. Okay. So meanwhile, we can try with float. So we can enter the float value, and let me try with the data type of A, but it was string. But with help of the float data type function, we are converting string to float. Okay, clear? So meanwhile, we can use the complex function. So this time, with help of the input function, I can enter the complex number plus 34J. And if I do the data type of A, it was the string. And if I go ahead with the for conversion, we can use the complex of A, and it was converting the complex data type. That way you can convert any data type to the that corresponding data type. Okay. So meanwhile, here I am using the input function, and I would like to go for finding the data type of A. Oh shit. Sorry. And I'm using input function, and here I enter the Boolean data type. Okay. And let me try with data type of A. It was the string data type. Now, if I use the bool, then it was converting the bool data type, right? Okay. So here it is the true only. You enter the true so that we got the true, right? For example, here I can go ahead with the input function. This time enter the false, and I can print the false, and I would like to go for find the data type. Of course, it's a string data type. Okay. Now, what I'm doing actually, I'm converting into the bool. Then you're trying to print the data type. It was bool. And if I print the A value, but it was print the false actually. Actually, it's a false, but we got output is true, right? Yes or no? Why? My question is why? Why it's true? Who will answer this question? Jaypal Garu, can you think about this one? Nitin, you at least. I given my input is false.
Yeah.
When I convert it into the bool, it's a bool data type. It was converting into the bool, but I got the result is true. But actually, I have to get the false right. But unfortunately, I got the true. Okay, I will tell you. So actually, it's a false is the false which is given by input function, right?
Yeah.
So this false, how many characters are there?
5.
So it's a 5 characters, right?
Yeah.
So the string, if it is the empty, if the string is empty, then it's a false. If the string is empty, doesn't have any character, then it could be the false. If the string is having at least one character, for example, space, then it could be the true. Let me try this one. So I don't have any single character in A, and it is nothing. Now I would like to go for converting into the bool of A. What it is? False, right? For example, if I have the space, then if I do the bool of A, true, right? Clear? So here false is how many characters?
5.
5 characters. So even if we have one character is there in our string, then it was the true. But here we have the 5 characters are there. Then of course it's a true only, right? That's the reason we got result here is true. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sure that when you're facing this kind of issue, so this it could be the interview question only. Just they will give some kind of code, and they enter the false, and you're trying to be converting into the bool, and what is the value of the A. Then if you said it's a false, then you will be, that means you failed for that particular test. Okay, so you have to say that it's a fail. Clear, right? Now I would like to introduce few more functions, and it is string function, list function, and tuple function, and a set function and a dictionary function. So these are the 5 functions you can try yourself. That means with the help of the input function, we can try to take the string and then you can convert it into the string only. So conversion from string to string, there is no meaning. No worry about this particular part. And you can try with the list. You can enter the list and then you can try to be converted the list only. You can try to enter the tuple. You can try to enter the tuple and we can try to be converting into the tuple. You can enter the set value and we can try to convert into the set. We can try to enter the dictionary, then we can try to convert into the dictionary. Okay, and meanwhile you can print the values actually. So that way only you can able to understand. Clear? So note this 9 functions. We do have only 9 data type conversion functions are there. So if you want to take the screenshot, it's fine for taking the screenshot, or else yeah. So take this 9 data type conversion functions and you seen that input function. You already know the type function as well. Okay. Now, for example, I have the A is Python. Okay. And B is, for example, Anjan. Okay. These are the 2 variables. Now what I want to do that actually I want to print the I am learning Python from Anjan. Okay. So this is the string I want to print it. So with help of the print function, directly we can print the string only, right? But now I don't want to print the Python. Sometimes it could be the Python, sometimes it could be C, sometimes it could be C++, right? Sometimes you are learning Java, sometimes you might be learning C++, right? Every time instructor is not same, right? Every time the instructor could be differ, right? So that's the reason while you're using the print function, so this Python and Anjan, instead of printing directly, you can print the variables in middle of it. So these things we can do in a 2 different ways. One is we can try to print something like this. I am learning. Here we can print your A coding, then again space, okay, from B. Okay, this is the way strings and variables we can separate it with comma. Okay, so here also you'll be getting the same thing. Or else I am, instead of any separations and commas and everything, okay, I am learning 0. You can make it here 0 from and within the curly braces you can make it as the 1, and then we can use the format function, format of A comma B. So in place of 0, what the value we have in A, that it would be replacing. See, you'll be getting the same result, right? I am learning Python from Anjan. Any questions regarding about this print statement? So if you want to print the multiple variables within the string only, without any separation with commas, with variables and string, within the single print statement, we can print the multiple variables with help of the curly braces. Okay. Any questions?
Is there any other way? Hello.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other way like to print?
Let me try
apart from
actually. Usually in Databricks and where I'm using in real time, there I am using, but in standard Python I've never used. Let me try.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
am
if something like we use the
Yeah, I am learning, and inside of curly braces, we can, instead of zeros and one, directly we can use the variable, and from P don't gives the result. Yeah, this is working. If I'm using the F before the string, okay, the variables we can write inside of the curly braces. That time it automatically replacing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever the thing it is comfortable for you, you can use it. Either you can use the format function, either we can use the F followed by the string, and which wherever you want to be display the variable name. So the variable name we can, what the data we have in variable that you want to display, then the variable name you have to write inside of the curly braces. Okay. So automatically, so it could be replacing the data inside of the variables. So these are the different ways we can use the print function. So you understood input function. So while I'm using input function, if you want to display before entering, so that also, that prompt also we can write it. So prompt. So generally we can directly, it's directly taking the prompt only. Prompt is here, enter some data. Okay. So this is your prompt. Oh shit. So you don't need to mention that, the variable names. You don't need to use the prompt. Okay, directly we can write the text. It can be we can be storing into the prompt. Okay. Yeah. Enter some data. So whatever the string you given, that it could be the prompt. It could be working like a prompt. And so the data, it could be displayed before you enter. Until you enter the data, it could be stay here itself. If you enter the 123, this 123 will be holding into the A itself. Okay. So that way we can use the input function, print function, and data type conversion functions, and type function and ID function. For example, I want to find the memory location, then we can use the ID function. With the help of the ID function, it can be returns the memory location. This is for what? Memory location. Okay. Now input, print, ID, type, data type, conversion functions. And we do have a function is dir, right? So with the help of the dir, we can display anything, right? We can return anything inside of any functions or classes, or else libraries, whatever it is. It could be display all the relevant information of that particular int data type. Okay, that is the use of the dir. But we do have a function is help. It will giving you some kind of description. So int of real. See, so the real, it could be a function. So it help on greatest descriptor built in int real. So the real part of the complex number. So for example, if we have a complex number, so from this one, I want to be go for accessing only real number. Okay. Then simply what we can do, a dot real, then it was returns the real value. If you want access only imaginary number, then we can use the function is image function, image. So it is returns only imaginary number. Okay, that is the use of this real and image attributes. So with the help of this one, you can access the complex numbers, imaginary number and real numbers from the complex number. Okay. So if you don't know what exactly the real what it is doing, so we just use the help function and we can provide that particular information, and it could be written some kind of a description, right? So this descriptor will help you for understanding what exactly it is. You don't need to go for Google it, and we don't need to go for do something else. Simply we can use the help function and we'll get the information. This is about some kind of built-in function in Python programming language. And if you have any kind of questions, here I would like to go for answer your questions actually. And meanwhile, I do explain few more functions. For example, if you have a list and I would like to do some kind of operations, the operations are sum of all the elements in A. So that moment will be something like 12 plus 3 plus 46 plus 100 is 161, right? And meanwhile, I would like to go for accessing the biggest number from the list. Then we can use the max of A. The maxest element is 100, so that it was written the 100. For example, I would like to go for finding the smallest element. Then we can use the min function. So when I'm using the min function, it could be written as the smallest value from this particular list. That is the use of the sum, max, and min. So we do have some kind of built-in functions for number system conversions. Number system conversions. One number we can convert into the another number. Okay, like if you have the integer, if you have the decimal number, the decimal number we can convert into the hexadecimal, or else we can convert into the octal, and we can convert into the bin. Okay, so how we can do it? We have direct functions are there. For example, I do have the 45. This is my decimal number. To convert decimal to hexadecimal, then we can use the x function. Okay, 0x 2D indicating that it's a 25 only. How we are getting this one in the sense? We just go on to Google it, mathematic. You just go and apply the how we can convert the decimal to octal or hexadecimal or binary. What is the logic? So you just go and read that particular conversions logic. Okay, and to convert a decimal number to the octal number, then we can use the OCT function. And to convert decimal number to binary number, then we can use the bin function. Okay, see how you're getting the 2D, I can explain you. So for example, first 4 numbers. So what is the value of 1101? So you need to know that this corresponding hexadecimal number 1110 in the sense 13. So 0 to 9, after 9, 10 we can representing the A, and 11 is the B, and 12 is the C, and 13 is the D, right? So that it could be 30, it could be D. And so 0, 0, 1, 0, 1 in the sense it's a 2. So that's a 2D we got an output. Okay. So this is number system conversions. It's a mathematical part. So what we can do, if you are not aware of it, how to convert the decimal to any other data type or any other number system. So you can find the logic. So in upcoming sessions, without using these functions, we have to go for build that particular logic. So this time what we can do, just to go on to convert one number system to, especially for decimal number to hexa, decimal to octal, decimal to bin, what is the thing? Okay, and meanwhile hexa to decimal, octal to decimal, and binary to decimal, how we can convert that also you can understand yourself. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care. See you. Bye. If you have any questions, please share your doubts. I will explain you actually. Okay, cool enough then. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care. See you.
Bye.